Hello, my name is Terry Smith. I'm the Community Development and Support Manager at Open Sight, Hampshire's principal sight loss organisation. In the next couple of weeks, there will be thousands of 5-year-olds starting school for the first time. However, rather alarmingly, up to 12% of them will be beginning their educational journey with an undetected problem with their vision. This is rather shocking, as I'm sure you'll agree, and the big questions are how and why. Well, primarily, so many children will be starting school with an undetected sight problem because there isn't in place in England a mandatory preschool eye testing programme in place. Unlike other countries of the UK, so in Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales, where a preschool eye test on a mandatory scale is in operation, the figures there are clearly much lower than in England. Another reason perhaps is because that many mums and dads don't realise that eye tests for children are free. So taking their youngsters along, recommended from the age of 3, is actually a very, very good idea. Because if something has been detected, and therefore children's glasses can be advised and worn, which will help the children's vision, that's much easier to do that when the children are younger. Additionally, other sight loss conditions, including perhaps the lazy eye syndrome, which is very common, if picked up at the age of 3 or 4, the treatment is incredibly successful. However, if it isn't picked up until the child is 6 or over, trying to rectify the problem is virtually impossible. It's worth remembering that 80% of learning is through vision. And that's not just through the educational process, but by making friends, taking part in activities, and participating in playtime. It's very important, and this is why Open Sight is calling for the Department of Health and Social Care to introduce a mandatory preschool eye test across England to ensure that all children, when they start school, will have had that very, very important check of their eyes. Lots of parents will assume that when they start school, their children will have an eye test at school. This is rarely the case. So by introducing a mandatory programme in a very similar way to the preschool vaccinations, it will ensure that all children in England, just as they are in Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales, that they will have the opportunity for their eyes to be tested, not just for their vision, but for their eye health too. So please, log on to the Open Sight website and click on the link to sign our petition, because I'm sure you will agree, if we are able to ensure that the eye health and the vision of our children is kept at the very, very best that we can, why wouldn't we do it? Thank you very much indeed.